Walmart recalls great value apple juice due to elevated arsenic levels. Let's discuss. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now. We have another recall, guys. Another recall. A big one. Walmart is recalling some of its apple juice. Over 9,000 cases, I believe, here. We're going to go into it. We're going to be reading a little bit from Fox Business website today, so if you want to look this up, that is where we are reading this from. They go on to say, Walmart's recalling apple juice in 25 states due to arsenic levels. The recalled apple juice was sold across the United States, including Puerto Rico and District of Columbia. More than 9,500 cases of apple juice that were sold at Walmart stores across the United States are being recalled due to the elevated level of, quote, inorganic arsenic. The Food and Drug Administration announced earlier this month. I believe it was August 15th. The juices were made by Refresco Beverages US Incorporated and sold by Walmart. It's the great value version here. The impacted products are the, quote, great value brand 8-ounce apple juice that were sold in 6-packs in PET plastic bottles, said by the FDA. Okay. So the recalled juices have a UPC code. So check this one out. If you have these, I know they have a best if used by date of December 28th, 2024. But the UPC code we'll go over here. I know this is a popular item. A lot of our viewers get the apple juice by great value. It's cheap. It's usually good quality. I mean, we've gotten it before. Let's see. So the UPC code is 0-78742-29655-5. Again, that is 0-78742-29655-5. Okay? Let's see. They were sold at Walmart stores in, get ready, 25 of them here. Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vermont, Virginia, and West Virginia, said by the FDA. And it has been listed by the FDA as a Class 2. And a Class 2 recall means, quote, a situation in which of or exposure to a violative product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, or where the probability of serious adverse health consequences is remote, says by the FDA's website. The apple juices were found to have arsenic levels of 13.2 parts per billion, said the FDA. In June 2023, the FDA issued industry guidance specifically for apple juice, stating that the upper limit of inorganic arsenic should be 10 parts per billion. I think we went over this. Arsenic is a naturally occurring mineral that is toxic to humans, said the FDA's website. Quote, the potential for long-term adverse health effects from consuming food contaminated with arsenic vary depending on the level of arsenic in the food, age of the consumer, length, amount, and frequency of exposure to arsenic in the food, and other exposures happening at the same time, either to arsenic from other sources or other contaminants, or to beneficial nutrients, end quote, they said. Exposure to high levels of arsenic can be particularly dangerous for young children, said the FDA, and, quote, is associated with adverse neurological effects such as learning disabilities, behavioral difficulties, and lowered IQ. The FDA continued, quote, for adults, long-term exposure to inorganic arsenic has been associated with skin disorders and increased risks for skin, bladder, and lung cancers, and for cardiovascular disease. The short-term exposure to, quote, very high amounts of inorganic arsenic can result in various side effects, including nausea, vomiting, bruising, and as well as, quote, numbness or burning sensations in the hands and feet, as they said. Despite its toxic nature, the mere presence of arsenic does not necessarily mean that a person should avoid altogether, quote, because many of the most nutritious foods can also contain contaminants. Consumers should eat a variety of nutrient-dense foods across and within the main food groups of vegetables, fruits, grains, dairy, and protein foods, said by the FDA. Let's see. Fox Business reached out to Walmart for further comment about the recall, as they say, and that is the end, I guess. That's it. They posted Walmart. They had a, not really sure what that is, what they're talking about, but that's the end of the article, it looks like. Yeah, this is something else that I feel like is going to be ongoing. I feel like all the information isn't here. They go on. There's a lot of different comments on here, which I like reading the comments that people leave on these. But like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. However, if you do have these in your fridge, I know, and this is right at a time where kids are going back to school. These are those little 8-ounce boxes, come in like 6-packs, and we need to make sure that we're checking for those. And it sounds like I started reading from USA Today, and they were kind of all over the place on this. And Newsweek was, I read through each article, and it seems like for the most part, it's all saying the same thing. They just give the dates. They're getting all their information off the FDA's website. So the thing is that a lot of this will most likely grow, right? We're hearing about it again a week later. Right, so chances are this is going to get bigger, just like everything else, right? It's been sold in 25 states. Chances are a lot of people have bought it. That's why I'm making this video. So if you have it in your fridge, or if you have it wherever, take it and get your money back. Take it and get your money back. And it is a voluntary recall, so whatever the case, I guess the levels were high at 13.2 parts per billion. It's just every day, guys. Every day, recall after recall after recall. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I really don't. I don't know anymore. It's just so much stuff. We had a couple of you reach out to me that wanted me to check on a couple of these. Mostly we did cover the Purdue chicken. There were a couple people asked if I knew about the Purdue chicken. Some of the frozen chicken recall. We did that a couple videos back. But yeah, this it's a big one because this is a big Walmart product that has been on recall, and I don't feel like they're feeling as urgent about this one as maybe they should. It's kind of the feeling I got when I'm reading some of these articles. So I would kind of stay tuned for this. If it happens to get any worse, we will go over it, as it comes. It was fresh to me. I read through it last night, and I was like, it's another recall. Let's get it out here. Let's talk about it. But I do think that this is one that is going to take a little while. I do think this is probably going to get bigger because they came out with all the states, everything that right away. Usually that's information that grows. Okay, so I think it's going to be a little more than what they said, 9,500 cases. That was the first initial, like, hey, this is what we know so far. So I don't know. I see how these things go, right? I mean, I see how these recalls happen. So hopefully that's all it is. But if you have any of the great value apple juice of those little 8-ounce packs, I would err to the side of caution. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.